Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to Men of War 2. This is a sequel to a World War II real-time strategy game released back in 2009, which still enjoys very positive reviews today. Now, 15 years later, the same developing studio based in the Ukraine is releasing their sequel with a vengeance. If you're wondering what this game is about, imagine a number of World War II themed battles and simulations with a strong focus on historical accuracy and tactics. And by historical accuracy, what I mostly mean is historically accurate armaments. If you take a look at the units here, you're going to see there are a lot of units in this game. Like a lot of units, all based on the historically accurate armaments you would have seen during World War II. So that gives you a good idea of what this game is trying to be. Now, before I get started, I do want to say a big thank you to Fulcrum Publishing for sponsoring today's video, and actually several videos for this game, so we can show off what it has to offer, because obviously they are very excited. So if you guys want to learn more about Men of War 2, there will be a link in the description down below. Since I have several videos that I get to play with, I thought it might be fun to try messing around with some of the story-based campaigns for the Soviets, Americans, and Germans, and also maybe dabble with the historical large-scale operations for the same factions. Each of these have different missions, different objectives, different units, different terrain, and we're gonna have to figure out how to navigate each of those and use the best tactics in order to win. Let's start with the Soviets. Thwarted Blitzkrieg. You can probably guess that this is gonna be based on the Soviet campaign to stop the German advance towards and beyond Moscow. There are 6 missions in total. I'm not saying we're going to get through all of them in this video, but we can get a good taste of what this has to offer. Now, one thing I'm going to acknowledge right off the bat, the voice acting for this game is a little bit rough.
What is going on here?
The artillery hit us before dawn. Our whole post was torn to shreds.
It's not exactly a deal breaker for me. It's just, something I'll just go ahead and acknowledge up front. Now, I'm not sure who this Lieutenant Lusarev guy is, but I'm guessing he's going to be our main character for this story campaign. He seems plucky and proactive, though I do hear some warplanes overhead. Hopefully those are our boys. Oh, frick me! Oh, they just killed him! All right, he's not the main character. No way. No way. He is very dead. All right, welcome to one of our first battlegrounds. You can see all of the fortifications and entrenchments the Germans are pushing in force with some mechanized support. We're gonna have to deal with that. Generally speaking, one of the first things you want to do, get your men into some freaking cover, because otherwise they will get mowed down very quickly, and that would be bad. Now, it looks like there are some mortars that are currently not being used. We probably should deal with that. Let's send these riflemen up over here. We've got some little machine gun squads I'll send over here, and some submachine infantry, which I guess I'll just send to cover over here for now. That should be fine. Okay. We've also got a couple of large machine guns, which hopefully are able to do some good. I need to get into a position over here, probably, and then fortify our position. That would make our life easier. But for now, let's get on that mortar so that we'll be able to start raining death upon our enemies. Now, mortars are great for a number of reasons. Not only do they do a lot of splash damage, and they can shoot well beyond line of sight, but they are pretty okay at taking down some of these motorized units. Fun thing about any of these mechanized units, tanks, cars, etc., as you just saw right there, they each have different components, and you can damage individual pieces of them. Take out a turret, and maybe, a tank is going to be useless. It can still run away, but it can't shoot back. Or take out the track on this mechanized unit, but if the turret's still active, it's still shooting at you. So it can't run, and that gives you an advantage, but it's not defenseless. These are kind of cool little details in this game. So now we've got mortars that should be able to start doing as much damage to their mechanized units as possible. If I can take these down, I think this gives us a slight advantage for my allies to start pushing forward. Now, you may notice there are some red and blue borders here. These do start changing as enemy infantry starts to move around, and sometimes you're going to need that in order to, capture specific types of objectives. So be aware of that. Now, with these machine guns in position, I'm going to go ahead and start fortifying their positions. All of your units are going to have various different abilities, including camouflage, fortifications, rotating, etc. Some things, though, like this, you'll see they're not doing anything except for that little icon on the top right, which shows, yep, it was building up a fortification. So now, our position is much, much stabler. And the machine gun is doing some serious work over here. You may notice that little eye symbol over here, though. Artillery, machine guns, other sorts of emplacements, over time they reveal their position. They might have stayed hidden from your opponent, like a howitzer, but if they keep firing without relocating, eventually the enemy can hone in on them. There's a lot of tactics involved in some of that, too. So the Germans are making another infantry advance over here, but I'm holding on to some of these machine guns, and my submachine gun infantry over here are trying to hold the front. As long as the sandbags provide some support, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to try to get into some of these trenches over here, too, to some of these good firing positions. They provide plenty of cover and give me a chance at hitting some of the enemies as they come in. I don't think the Germans have a whole lot left. Yeah, it looks like they got a few more in their motorized rifle detachment. Well, that guy got mortared. All right, yeah, sure, problem solved. What's left, guys? Oh, looks like they are retreating. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and rush forward, take these emplacements, and grab the machine guns that are already set up over here, very conveniently. And it looks like I'm getting some reinforcements of artillery regiments. Okay, perfect. So we set up some of these howitzers and anti-tank guns, and I think we can maybe hold off whatever the next German advance is going to throw at us. Now, fun fact about these artillery guns, while you can push them with your people, it's very, very slow. Almost always better to have some horses or motorized or something in order to actually drag these guns around. Otherwise, it takes forever to deploy them. So let's see, I got a regimental gun that I probably want to move a little bit more toward the front up over here. Same with this over on this side. And then we can just simply detach the gun like so, face it whatever direction that I want, like this. And then I'll go ahead and undeploy some of the people in the car because I'm not using that right now and it doesn't have any turrets on it. Let's just go ahead and get these guys deployed in the trenches. So the Germans are going to be here in about 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and rotate these guns and then get them fortified as well, increasing the likelihood they survive. Definitely want those anti-tank guns. If the Germans send some heavy armor at us, we are going to be in a bit of trouble. And the enemy has already been spotted. Well, I'm going to send a lot of mortars their way, so hopefully they take some big damage. Now, I don't have a lot of good examples to use right now, except for maybe this guy on a horse, but if I hit the E key, I actually can control some of the individual units. Best when you actually have some tanks and stuff. But, like, if I wanted to use this car, like, can we do that? Absolutely. So I'm now driving this motorized around. Pretty fun. Oh, but here comes some more. There we go. What do you got over here? A bit more mechanized. Okay, no problem. And there's some stuff over here. You can see that we actually took down their tracks so they can't move. Their gunner was killed pretty quickly afterwards. Sure. Oh my gosh, my anti-tank guns are doing their job for sure. They are piercing through that armor. Beautimous. And in a very brief nutshell, this is kind of how the game works. Now, of course, you're going to have all sorts of different units you can play with, as I showed you before, ranging from anti-infantry, anti-tank, anti-air, all of those are things, plus tanks, motorized, etc., all of which you're going to have to worry about and control. Generally, what seems to be the best strategy in this game, though, is make sure you get a good defensive point, let them throw themselves against you, and then as soon as they have to pull back and regroup, that is your chance to attack. But it's all about using tactics, reading the terrain, and making sure you are using the right units to counter their forces. Speaking of which, I see a tank, a Panzerkampfwagen. Good, yes. Let's see if we can anti-tank that thing into oblivion. Ooh, they're hiding behind the bushes. It's smart and cheaty. Oh, gosh, and they have a long range, too. They can hit me. But, fortunately, infantry do carry grenades, so if you just move your tanks right up to people, like, I don't care if they've got any sort of, like, RPG. They'll just grenade you into oblivion. Don't do that, AI. That was stupid. I'm not sure that I've actually taken any losses myself so far, by the way. My ally Soviets, sure, they've lost a lot of people, but that's because they got out of the trenches. Don't do that if you want to live. Man, the Germans just keep coming, though. Must be nice having all the mechanized with turrets. When do I get some of those? Those are fun. Oh, here comes the tank. Yep, let's go ahead and direct my anti-tank. Now, another fun fact about this game is every unit has various different forms of ammunition. Most of these guns, like this one right here, only needs to use a 45mm 53K. But certain kinds of various different armaments, like tanks and stuff, might be able to swap between different kinds of weaponry. Or if you're using close air support or bombers, you can change what kind of bombs you want to use, right? That's just kind of the things I'm talking about. Lots of little things that add a lot of realism, maybe more than you'd ever need for a game, but if you're a World War II history buff, these are things that you'll probably appreciate. Jeez, dude, they actually just keep coming. This is so many tanks. Freaking heck, for a first mission in a campaign, this is getting kind of frantic. And they are destroying my fortifications, and that machine gun emplacement is down. Oh gosh, where's my air support, for real? Maybe we can chuck an anti-tank grenade or two over there. There we go, never mind. Thanks, guys, well done. Fortunately, generally speaking, your men aren't stupid enough to just, like, sit there and not do anything. They tend to react when they're getting shot at. And if that means that they actually do want to, you know, use some grenades or reposition a little bit, they can. Sometimes that means that they'll just go ahead and move when you didn't want them to, but most of the time, they're actually pretty smart. Okay, the Germans have set up a position to the north, and now 30 minutes later, looks like I'm setting up some tank divisions to take the fight to them. Okay, this is a way more frantic first mission than I was expecting, if I'm completely honest, but I'm all for it. So, we've got a bunch of beautiful tanks now. I got a BT-7, T-26, T-34s. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, let's do this. Counterattack time. So let's see. Destroy some crossings. Oh gosh, this map just tripled in size. All right, well, generally speaking, you want the forward sections of your tanks be facing the enemy. That's where the armor will be the strongest. The entrenches are proving to be a little bit tricky to get around, but if we can do that real quick, we'll be fine. And let's start slowly pushing forward with all of my reinforcement boys. We should be automatically attacking pretty much anything that comes by. I'm going to try to manually control these guys to just keep pushing them forward bit by bit. Let's apply plenty of pressure to them. Though remember, if I hit the E key, I now can take control of this tank, and we can shoot at things manually, whatever I want. Like this over here. Pew! Wow, that was a terrible shot. Hang on. Boom. There we go. Ooh, that was a lot better. I think they may have some mortars, actually. Possibly. I don't know. I see some glowing points over here. That usually means that there's something that's revealed itself. We probably need to push forward and take those down before we get hit. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay, we need to take that down. Anti-tank artillery, no thank you. There we go, ammunition explosion, and the commander of this tank died. And the track got hit, which means we are losing mobility. Oh boy. Fortunately, my tanks seem to be doing a good job. 5 tanks on 1 works pretty well. Okay, I lost a tank, never mind. 4 tanks on 1. Ah, God, and there goes another one of my tanks. And the gunners died over here, and we're out of crew. Yeah, I maybe should have been more careful with how I was using some of my tanks. And that one just went boom too. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't attached to these or anything. Ugh. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna have to do an infantry push. Wasn't planning on this, but that's how it be. Let's go. Crap. Actually, I think they may have wiped out almost the entire pushing force, and they got more tanks. Crud. Everyone get into the trenches again! The lesson I should learn from this is I should have been far more careful with my tanks and not moving them forward, assuming that they would be basically invincible, especially since the Germans have clearly way more armor than they deserve. Okay, looks like we at least were able to stop their counterattack across the river. I just need to destroy these crossings, and quick. Oh, and actually that was enough. Good, thank God. Those tanks were doing so much damage. Hey, okay, that's a first introduction. Yeah, all right, fine. The Soviets make one final stand, you know, no step back, I guess. Overall, how did I do? Well, I mean, I did kill a lot of enemies. 277 Germans died to my 42 Soviets, unfortunately, who fell. I lost 4 tanks, and I killed 32. Overall, I'd say this is pretty good. Alas, the AI did better than me, which makes me sad. Even so, no big deal. As a result, we get some supply and some league points, something that would be used for multiplayer lobbies. Not that I can actually use anything multiplayer related right now, since, you know, I'm currently playing before the game has actually released, but I imagine that can be pretty fun as far as being able to summon various different kinds of units in a multiplayer battle. Let's continue with the Blitz. We're gonna go to whatever the cost. So it looks like this time around, I'm going to be controlling some artillery regiments again, and we have to break through the German defenses in the town. So this time they're entrenched, and I'm the one pushing into the meat grinder. Ugh, we don't like that. Oh wait, I don't even have any artillery. We just have to take it anyway. So with just a few squads, I've somehow got to take this town? Well, okay, hang on. What's an actual way we can do this? So the Allies are going to be making a forward attack, and I've got to outflank them, huh? So you're telling me I need to get down basically right over here is what I'm guessing. And we can use the terrain to our advantage? All right. So you can have your men kind of crawl along the ground. If we hit the space key, we basically tell them all to drop, so that hopefully we are not an easy target. Taking a few losses, though, which is not helping matters at all. Let's see if we can just take out these guys here in the flank, see if we can just get them out of here. Clear out this position, take out that machine gun in particular. If we can do that, I think maybe we can get around. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's get in here. Charge, men, this is our opportunity. Take their machine guns, take their sandbags. There we go. Got them. Oh, and now they're sending some reinforcements and mechanized. All right. Oh, never seen such armored cars. Were you not at the previous front line? Because I saw a lot of them. I've lost almost all of my units, though. Can you maybe hit the armored car? Nope, you guys are... Okay, that didn't work. What just hit me over here? Something just took out both of my guys, and I've got basically no men left. Uh-oh. Yep, I think I lost just about everything, and my ally most definitely did. Okay, we restart. That's fine, though. See, remember that in a lot of ways, this game is kind of a puzzle, right? I have to figure out the optimal use of what few resources I have in order to take down the enemy. That might require that I approach it in a different way. It's a little bit dangerous, but maybe I just didn't flank them enough. Let's try to take these men and see if we can actually just get all the way over here so we hopefully don't get shot at. As soon as I can get below this terrain, I've lost quite a few men. Unsurprisingly, that was risky. Okay, well, now we're truly flanking them. So we'll have to see if this is going to be enough. The answer appears that they have other guns that are defending over there, so that wasn't going to work either. Okay. And then, of course, my allies are all gone, too. That didn't work. Oh, wait, one thing I just realized, I actually can send reinforcements. Well, this would help. Hold on, I want to have some, let's say, mortars. That would be great. Let's bring them from the front. Let's go ahead and get some more infantry. Yeah, so you have a command point system over here, and you are able to send additional battalions of units, which is obviously very helpful. We will use things like the mortars to knock out machine guns. Far safer. Yeah, unsurprisingly, a mortar makes a huge difference. We're able to actually knock them out of their entrenchments. And now I can actually hit the mechanized. This makes so much more sense. Just need to wait for one good lucky hit with the mortar onto the motorized, and that should take it down. Well, that at least did some damage. They're not going anywhere now. Come on, one good hit, one good hit. I haven't lost many units yet. There it is. Down. Thank you. Alright, so just like before, mortars take out their defensive positions. We'll hopefully be able to weaken them before we go too far in there. And if we destroy this building, I bet you that helps a lot. That's why we like having mortars. What else can I get here? Unless we can actually get ourselves another mortar. I want that. Let's go ahead and move you forward. There we go. This building's going down. That's going to crumble their defenses real fast. Nice. And we can do the same thing over here since they seem to be all holed up. I like the destructible terrain aspect. This is nice. Looks like one of my mortars is out of ammunition. We'll go ahead and send him back and see if I can get some more reinforcements later on. At some point, you can unlock getting some resupply caches, you know, just have someone who actually drops off more ammunition. That's their entire job, but I don't have access to that right now. New orders! Move up to the river, take some bridges, and then hold them while our regiment completes the assault. So we need to cut off their reinforcements. Okay, well, we have a whole bunch of new reinforcements available then. So we have only a couple of minutes before our allies are going to attack. That is not a lot of time to try to sneak around and get to some of these bridges. Especially if they are going to be holding up in some of these adobe buildings. There's not much of a front left to defend, if I'm honest. They've kind of lost almost everything. It's fine. I'm just going to sneak around as best we can. Only 30 seconds before their next attack. Let's see if we can at least get up to this bridge. Maybe use some of the plant life as cover. I don't want to waste any ammunition for my mortars because I've got only a handful of shots, really. Okay, there's definitely some enemies around here. Not an absolute ton, but enough to be a problem. We'll try to hit these guys. And we can push the borders forward, as you can see here, which means we should be about to capture the bridge officially. Good. Approaching the second bridge now. Not seeing enemies yet, but you know they're here somewhere, probably just hiding. Camouflage is a thing in this game. You mostly use it to try and not give away your position of artillery and stuff, or protect yourself, ideally, against, let's say, enemy aircrafts. That's usually important. Oh, dang it, and the Germans just recaptured a bridge. No! I didn't know I had to go back and get it. Okay, hang on. So are we, like, officially encircled, then? Is that what this counts as? Because it feels like I've been encircled. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, this time I actually just need to leave some people behind to defend this place. Sorry, allies! You probably got a lot of people killed because I screwed that up. I wasn't aware how that worked, but now I know! We'll just call that a Soviet oopsie. I'm sure that won't get me killed. Let's go ahead and set down some more sandbags. My people can do that in order to get themselves some cover, and we're entrench and hold this position. Which is good, since it looks like we're about to get hit over here. Haha, and that's why we like cover. And if I can't place down sandbags, we can at least dig some small little foxholes that we can use, and that's one way of keeping ourselves entrenched a little bit. Plus, we can get ourselves some extra reinforcements. Oh, we've got big guns. Ooh, I should probably get those. Yes, especially since I see this on the way. Oh gosh, I wish I had noticed that sooner. Toss a grenade! Boom! Okay, that got close. And they're about to grenade me too, aren't they? Yeah, pretty sure these guys are... Sorry, guys. All right, they did. This means I should probably try getting myself some additional reinforcements, and soon. Fortunately, it's going to take a long time for my troops to get back up here from the front, and in the meantime, I'm encircled and unable to do much over here. Oh boy. I'm kind of curious, what would happen if I took a few infantry and actually tried to complete the encirclement over here? If I do that, are they going to lose all of their borders and it slowly shrinks upon itself? That would be interesting. Let's find out. Just a little bit more, and now, yep, it's sure enough, it is fully surrounded. Haha! Okay, the borders are collapsing. They're running out of space. Get them! Oh, frick me, they brought in some big guns. That's fine. This is why we set up a roadblock. We're fine. Oh gosh, and now the Russians send in a whole bunch of forces. Really? You could have done this the whole time and now you're gonna join? Well, it's fine. My mortars should be able to finish these guys off pretty much and just let the allied infantry run in and push the line for me. Any entrenched positions? Any machine guns? I'll take them out for you. Don't even worry about it. And the town is mine. Sure, we lost like 147 men, but I consider that to be a bargain considering what we were up against. And apparently, I'm gonna be world famous. The Soviet press is gonna use me for propaganda. Hey, I mean, that's just like that. Yeah, that's a life dream completed right there. Mission complete. All right. Hey, that was actually a pretty fun little challenge. I had to learn a few things on the fly, but we got through it. Took a few casualties, more than I would have liked, but we made it. All right, we made it work. So I think that's a good first look at Men of War 2. Obviously, the game can get quite brutal. If you are not using the terrain or your tools properly, and you run in blindly, that's a great way of getting all your men killed. You're going to have to approach every problem with strategy and tactics in order to achieve victory. And again, the sheer amount of effort that has clearly gone into historically recreating so much of World War II is absolutely impressive. So we'll see how things go with future campaigns, but in the meantime, once again, thank you to Fulcrum Publishing for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do want to learn more about the game, there will be that link in the description down below. Otherwise, I would ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe to tune in for some future episodes with Men of War 2 to learn more about the game, and I will see you guys next time.